Please note, this episode discusses drug addiction and robbery. While not explicit, listener discretion is advised. Louie Fojut, a cast member on Love After Lockup, is on a mission to share his powerful story of overcoming drugs, crime, and prison. His journey is one of resilience, and he hopes to inspire others who may be facing similar struggles. Louie's backstory will be featured in the upcoming limited series Love After Lockup Crime Story on WeTV, premiering February 7th. Louie's path to sobriety and fitness has been transformative, and he recently earned his real estate license, marking a new chapter in his journey. He's now speaking publicly to kids and teens in local communities, sharing his story and the lessons he's learned along the way. Louie joined Love After Lockup after reconnecting with his fiancée Melissa during his time in prison when they reconnected from their high school years. Driven by a desire to give back, Louie hopes his story will offer hope and guidance to those facing adversity, showing them that change is possible, no matter the obstacles. This is True Crime in Hollywood, Louie's personal tale. All right, listeners, I am really excited for this interview today because I am sitting down with Louie Fojut, who I was introduced to a couple years ago. And I actually heard a lot about your upbringing during that time and basically where things led up to when you landed into prison. Now, with that being said, I also got to speak with your mom, and I heard some really difficult things that, you went through growing up. But the one thing that kept coming back to me was that you have this drive in you, and I think that has always been in you. So I'm excited to kind of talk about what life is like now, because soon people will learn your story that will be coming out in this upcoming. Now, remind me, is it a spin-off or is it the actual Love After Locked Up show? Tell me what that is.
So February 7th will be Love After Lockup Crime Stories is
Got
what
it.
it's called. But my particular my episode that I'm going to be on is going to be February 21st.
Perfect. Okay,
February
February
21st,
1st.
8 p.m. WeTV. Yeah, Crime Stories.
Boom. Okay, perfect. So that's where people will learn more about you in that sense, because usually I go through people's early years. So that's why we're kind of jumping in this particular interview. So, with that being said, I think where I want to start though is to talk about the casting process that happened and how all of that came to be. So, yeah, walk me through that.
For being on the show, huh?
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's see. So I started off November 29, 2012 is when I committed my crime. I committed an armed robbery, 2 aggravated assaults. That led me to a mandatory minimum of a 10-year sentence. So I was sentenced 20 years, served 10. So I was released from prison finally, November 29, 2022. But in 2021, I was my last year of prison. I went to a transition center,
Mhm.
TC. And while I was there, we were able to get phones and stuff like that. And that's when I reconnected with Melissa, my fiance. Um, and so we hit it off right away. We talked for a while, instantly fell for her. She fell for me. And I just mentioned the TV show, Love After Lockup,
Mm.
if she ever heard of it. She did her research and they were accepting applications at the time. So I guess she did whatever it is that she did, and they liked our story. But I think the most important part was like my timing of when I was
Mhm.
being released. So they liked the story. They did a Zoom interview with her when I was at my job, interviewed me, and we landed the show. So she actually filmed that while I was currently at the transition center. Uh,
Got it.
he met my mom. At the time I was in Georgia, she was in New Jersey. So they flew her down. She met my mom. They did that whole thing. She surprised me at my job, which she wasn't supposed to do, but they did all that. And so upon my release, as soon as I literally walked out the gates, um, we started filming Love.
Wow.
So it went from Love during lockup to filming Love After Lockup when I was released after serving 10 years, and then progressed from there. You know, we did Love After Lockup, and then we did 2 seasons of Life After Lockup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then now
Wow.
the Crime Stories, which is it's just a one episode. I believe it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. My goodness. Okay. So that all makes sense now. Thank you for breaking that down. So, what was that like then for you to be walking out with cameras? So not only are you processing that now you're out, what was that like?
well, first, it's really funny, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of I had 30. So the Love During Lockup was supposed originally it was supposed to air after my release.
Mm,
So I was like, if it doesn't air, like I know I'm gonna go back to prison, this, that, the other. So, anyways, they told me it was gonna air after my release, but they didn't really know. It was a guesstimate.
right.
Well, it actually aired, I believe it was October 24th. It was a Friday. Um, and remember, I was going to be released November 29th of that
Mm,
year. So it was released on a Friday in October. Um, I didn't tell anybody at the TC except for people who worked with me, and everybody keeps things hush hush because they don't want to get in trouble. While it was on TV, they were doing the promos for it. Somebody seen it, saw me, and like everybody, it was like the talk of the
wow.
transition center. So it aired on Friday. That Tuesday at work, it was really a Wednesday because I got transferred. They found out about it. When I came back to the prison, they actually locked me down, sent me to another prison to be transferred, and sent me back to prison. I went to a prison 4.5 hours away from the transition center when I only had 33 days left to max out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I spent 33 days in prison, back in prison. And while I was there, the warden knew about it. The assistant
Mm,
warden knew about it. So I spoke with the assistant warden. She told me they know what's going on, just to lay low, this, that, the other. So it was finally time for me to be released. And all the officers were coming up to me, like talking to me, like, so now, mind you, I just got done serving 10 years of prison. I've been waiting for this day forever. I'm on my way walking out. You have to walk through two gates, two fences, two gates or whatever. And like I'm literally getting emotional. Like
mm,
I'm starting to tear up. I'm starting to I'm excited, like whatever, right? So as I'm walking out, I go through the first gate, I get in the middle, they shut the gate, and then they open up the gate to walk out. And like when I walk out, nobody's there. Like
mm,
expecting all these cameras, all these people, like because the guards were like, look, I don't know who you are, what you have going on. The warden wants you out of here now. Like there's camera crews. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm looking, nobody's there. Then a van
yeah.
pulls up and they're like, Louie, Louie. And I'm like, yeah, they're like, get in here, get in here. So I had to get in the van. So this was like a little bit after COVID. So this is when COVID tests were still going on. So I had to
Right.
go, they had to drive me to the gas station. I had to take a COVID test, wait for that to come back negative. It took us like an hour and a half, and then I finally saw my mom. I saw Melissa, and we had to
Yeah.
film that. So very, very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I'm so happy that we filmed right away because one of the things I wanted to do when I got out of prison, this might sound crazy, but I think people who served a lot of time will understand me. I really needed, like, I wanted a vacation, right? So I wanted
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
relax, I wanted to chill. And I'm so happy that we filmed right away because it kept me on schedule, it kept me on point, waking up
Right.
early. So I was basically structured. You know, when I was at the TC, I was literally getting up at 3:30 in the morning because I had to catch a van to go to work. We started work at 6 o'clock. So I did that 5 or 6 days
Wow.
a week for probably like 8 months, you know? So
Hmm.
very structured and it was good because like I said, I wanted to chill. So we filmed for like 11 straight days. Uh
Oh,
Absolutely incredible.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even, I can't even explain it now. Like, I was just so flabbergasted about like seeing my mom's meeting, seeing Melissa, like everything was just like
Yeah.
in filming. So it's like me and her really didn't even have our time together, you know? I'm trying to see
Mm,
my son, like, there's so much going on, but it was just well worth it, obviously. Like, it was.
yeah.
Like, somebody had asked me, do I regret filming, like right away? No, no, not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Wow, that's remarkable. And I was just gonna say, yeah, for you and Melissa to just jump into it head first, and then equally, you're also filming that. So, what was that transition like? Like, finally, you are done rolling, and you two can just finally start. Yeah.
No, because no. And the reason being is because
Well,
so
she was in New Jersey.
she's in New Jersey, so
That's
she can
right.
only take a certain amount of time off of work. So we
Right.
never even had a day,
Ugh,
us, right? So like we had night.
yeah.
Like it was just crazy. So when we were done filming, like she had to come back to Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah.
So it was like that. So like that happened. I live with my mom. I'm living with my mom. Like so the transition into reality was it it it, it wasn't as I thought it was gonna be very difficult. I thought everybody
Yeah.
was gonna know, like, bro, this guy just did 10 years. Like you can tell, you could I was shocked because nobody. So I went on a couple interviews, right? And going
Hmm.
on an interview, so this one interview I went on, I was talking to the owner of this company. He was like a pressure washer company, and he was the owner looking for a manager and basically like a crew manager. We had a nice, good interview. Loved me, like everything was good. And right at the end, he's like, "Look, man, I know this is going to be an issue." He's like, "But we have to do a background check." And is there anything
Ah,
that I need to know to find out that might come up? And I was sitting at the Starbucks. I'll never forget. His name was Tom. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I got a history. He's like, well, how bad? And I was like, well, like to be honest with you, like I just was released from prison like a couple weeks ago. It's literally was like a few weeks ago. And he was like, what? And then
yeah.
he's like, how long did you do? And I was like, 10 years. He's like, 10 years. And I explained, and like, he's like, damn, like he's like, I had no idea. So to be able to sit in front of a guy for like over an hour talking to him not knowing. But the thing is, like, I didn't get the job because of my background. I had a violent crime, and but
Right.
yeah, it was just overwhelming. Like, I just thought that people were gonna know. I thought I was gonna be very
Yeah.
shy, standoffish. Like, yeah, I feel like you could read me, like, this guy's, but nobody had any idea. Just I was able to get back into work. Uh, when I worked for Big Pie in the Sky for Dirk, who's like my best friend, like he took me in right away, but I was only working like he really did me a favor.
Hmm.
Working like 4 days, like I wasn't doing anything. I was getting
Yeah.
very complacent living with my mom. Melissa was in New Jersey. I just wasn't really going anywhere. I became a certified personal trainer within like a couple months after
Hmm.
being released. I became a peer recovery specialist, same thing after a few months being released. But I just couldn't really quote unquote land a real job, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
and I just wasn't going anywhere. So it was like, and that's where the show helped out too. Cause it's like
Yeah.
I was telling somebody like if I feel like the show helped our relationship, mine and Melissa's relationship,
Mm,
because it allowed us to see each other a little bit more often when we couldn't have. You know what I mean? Like
right.
they flew her down, we hung
Absolutely. Right.
film, vice versa. Like and it just and it gave us like a platform to like try to prove everybody else wrong. You know what I mean? Like it gave us hope. Like we want to be that couple. We don't
Yeah.
like I know I wasn't gonna mess up, but we don't want to like we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it regardless. And so that also helped us out too.
That's incredible. I mean, and that was the one thing that stuck out the first time we ever spoke was just, I don't know. Like, I think people have this perception that somebody gets out of prison and yeah, I don't know. Like, everything goes out the window in terms of communication, but I was just so impressed by you and then learning what you accomplished in prison. So, can we talk about those things for a minute? Because you got into yoga,
I did.
you started on your sobriety journey during that time as well. Yeah, so tell me about those things.
So okay, I served a 10-year sentence. Now the first 5 years that I served, I was back to my old self. I was
Yeah.
doing drugs are very accessible there. A lot of people don't realize that they hear things, but I'm telling you, like, as long as you're the compound that you're at, like, as long as they have a good flow of drugs, like they're in every dorm. You literally don't even have to
Mm.
get out of your bed. You can just call whoever the drug dealer is in the dorm. Hey, I need a 25, a 50, whatever. And they're going to give it to you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So there was
Yeah.
that. There was times that I was like, I'm going to get straight and not do it. But then you have people in your ear. And like, I
Mm.
was very weak-minded at the time, I was not strong. People would be like, man, you got 8 years left. Like, who cares? You have a mandatory sentence. You're not going home. Like, fuck it, right? So like, I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what? Let's go. And then I was doing drugs, gambling. I'm getting into debt. Uh, but I've said this before. I can't even say it enough. That I wasn't the one suffering, it's the people who are supporting you who's getting hurt and who's going through it worse than you are, right? So
Mm.
as an inmate, we're inside, we're literally like chilling, right?
Yeah.
Relaxing. I mean, as long as there's depending on where you're at, there are killers there. Like there are some serious criminals there. But honestly, like you're chilling, right? So
Yeah.
but you have your family members, your loved ones, whoever it is that's supporting you, not just emotionally, because that's hard enough, excuse me, but financially. Like they're sending money, especially for the people who have no clue what it's like in prison. Their son, their daughter, their husband, uncle, whoever, they go to prison and they don't have a clue. And you're on the inside being like, hey, yeah, oh, this happened. Can you send me money? Can you put money on my books? Can you do this? When you're literally just using them for their money to support your habits. Like
Mm.
they feed you 3 times a day. There's ways to hustle in prison to make money to support yourself. But like I
Mhm.
said earlier, like if you're weak-minded and you don't have self-control, the drugs are there, the gambling's there. Like you're in a dorm. If you don't have work or detail, like you're in the dorm doing nothing all day. Nothing. So what are you doing? You're playing
Mm.
cards, you're just, you got drugs everywhere. It's just like, yeah,
It's a free for all then. Yeah.
it really is. And like, so my day of sobriety was so for alcohol, the last time I drank was Labor Day weekend 2012. So alcohol really wasn't an issue. I've been good
Yeah.
on, but it was the drugs. So my sober day is November 25th, 2017. That was the first day I got sober, and I've been sober since. Now prior to that, I've always said, "Oh, I'm gonna get clean. I might get clean for a couple of days, a week, 2 weeks, but I'm right back on it." I've been asked what changed. The only
Mhm.
thing that really truly pops in my head is the fact that like I've had a lot of opportunities in my life to move forward, to get ahead, and it's always been destroyed by my drug addiction.
Yeah.
Um, So like, and I use it now in prison. Like I've had good like details, right? I was a computer aide for 3.5 years, random drug test. I failed, lost my detail. I'm back in the dorm all day. I got another detail, another job, surprise drug test. I did not, I refused to take it. So that automatically gave me a DR, which is a disciplinary report. Got fired from my job, back in the dorm again. So here I am. It's just like it's like it's repetitive. So and I would write at nighttime. I would just, it's a love-hate relationship. And it's like I was getting tired of it. And
Yeah.
I was on another bender. I just a couple of days, I finally fell asleep. And then when I woke up that day, it was like I told myself I was done. How many times I've said this before, but as the days went on, like I realized like I'm done. And
Yeah.
when I realized that, and it really sunk in, I called my mom right away, instantly, and I was like, "Hey, I need you to come here for visitation. I got to talk to you." So she came down visitation that weekend, and it's like as soon as I seen her, like I instantly like lost it, cried, very emotional moment for us. And I told her I was done. Again, how many times have I told my mom this? She's seen me I don't like she's seen me at my worst. So she probably didn't obviously believe me. She said she did. She had an idea, but like again, I get it. But over the course of time, like she did, she saw me. I became a different person. I regained the trust of my family, my close friends, and I'm different. And like and this is when I started to really get into personal fitness.
Mhm.
and I had like 11 different not clients, excuse me. I had 11 different like inmates that I would train, like that really looked up to me. Like I really became a leader in the dorm, because I
Right.
stopped using drugs. I started exercising a lot. I stuck to my word. And then when I got transferred to the other prison, that's when I got into yoga. I was doing yoga. I did like 6 months straight. I did yoga. My
Wow.
roommate CJ, we literally did yoga every single day for like 6 months.
My gosh.
It was an incredible experience. I really wish I stuck with it. But I get it. Like now I understand, when you don't have all that time on your hands and you got stuff going on, like
Yeah.
you always make time. I get it, but life happens, I find time to work out now, so uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, so yoga was awesome and I just transitioned that way and I became stronger mentally, physically, emotionally. Um, and I just don't feel like I'm gonna slow down, like there's so much I want to do and overcome,
Yeah. And you're doing it. That's the part that is so incredible to me that after speaking with your mom and Dirk, because I also got to speak with him very briefly as well, they all said the same things. Like it was just this transformation and hearing your mom talk about those really difficult days. And I think she even said she shared some things that I think she said she hadn't even talked about at some point. And so you both stuck with me, like the back of my mind all the time of just like how remarkable to see your child and the evolution that you've had because just as you said drugs kept getting in the way and that was to my understanding because you were like on the path to go to Florida State University, right?
No, I went. I graduated
Yeah,
high school.
aha, okay.
I graduated high school in 1999. I was very passionate and obsessed with the weather. I wanted to become a meteorologist, a
That's
hurricane
right.
expert, study study the weather. That's what I wanted to do. I went down to Tallahassee. I went to the Tallahassee Community College. I got my AA. I transferred over to Florida State. I was at Florida State for like 2 years.
Okay.
I ended up changing my major from meteorology to math and physics. Um, I had one more year left and I dropped out.
That's
Um,
right. Ugh.
so yeah, so I did that because I was running a restaurant I was working at. I was making good money.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs, alcohol played a huge part. So this is probably the time I started smoking. Like I started smoking crack 2001 or two. Like I
Mm,
cracked for 11 years. Like I was a crackhead. You know what I mean? Which is
yeah.
crazy to say, but like, and when some of the the stories I have are endless. Some of the ways that I just manipulated my mother to give me money, so wrong. Um, but at the end of the day, I think she knew she was just in denial. She was one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
enablers in my life, but it's only because she had that mother's protection, right? So like I would put her into a situation to where like basically more or less like either you give me money or I'm going to do whatever it is I have to do to go get it, whatever it is. So I feel like as a mother, what's the best thing for you to do, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
probably because she's trying to protect me, right? So she rather give me the money than for me to go out on the street and do whatever it is that I'm going to do, because who knows what it is I was going to do to get it. So, but at the same time, like looking back at it now, it's like it's so wrong. Like it's such I've
Yeah.
heard so many bad situations, and she always stuck up for me. She was always there for me, no matter how wrong I was. She was
Yeah.
there. But so I feel it like for these other people, because somebody who's never been in this situation, as an addict or as a person like who cares for an addict, right? So a mother, a husband, a wife, whoever's on that side, like if you've never been there, like you don't know. You should never, you can't, you can looking on the outside in, you can say one thing, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that. But you
Right.
don't know unless you're in that situation,
Right.
So like there's a lot of people who are like, oh, your mom did this. Like, yeah, she was an enabler, but at the same time, she still was a mother and she was trying to make the best decision that she could at the time, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
it right or wrong? It's hard to say, like, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, needless to say, first of all, congratulations on just landing 7 years of sobriety, because that just happened not too long ago. remarkable. I mean, truly, I am officially going to be 3 years sober from alcohol in a few months.
Congratulations.
And thank
Awesome.
you.
It's
Yeah,
so much
and
better.
yeah, it's wild, right? Like to kind of live life without that and you see things in a totally different fashion. So like I
More
said, I
vivid.
mean, just
One of the
yeah.
biggest for me, like the world is so much more colorful.
Yeah. Thank goodness. And I'm so, so happy to hear it. Now, you have, so when you got out, what was kind of like your plan? Like, so obviously you were trying to figure out like a job, and like you said, you were figuring out the personal training aspect, but now you have gone to realtor side. So, like, how did all of that kind of like pan out over the last couple of years?
I mean, so when I got out, like I wanted to be a personal trainer, right? So
Hmm.
I got my certification. At the same time, like I love making pizzas. I'm really good at it. I enjoy it. It's fun. I love the atmosphere,
Yeah.
but the hours suck, right?
Yeah.
Um, at some point when you're in the restaurant industry, it's like the only way to go is basically to go up is to be even at a manager level. Like you need to be you want to be the owner, right? So there was that. Like that was an option, you know. So after I left New Jersey, I mean, after I left Georgia and moved to New Jersey, really like I feel like I was on the chopping block, you know what I mean? Like I moved
Yeah.
in with Melissa, like I need to get a job. Like
Hmm.
I'm a certified personal trainer, cool, but at the same time, I need to job. Now I saved up money to where I had some leeway, gave myself a
Okay.
couple weeks just in case. But like there's pizza places on every freaking corner in New Jersey. So like
Yeah.
and so it was so easy for me to get a job, right? But it's
Yeah.
a place. So anyway, that's not a career. In the meantime, I'm thinking about all these different things like getting a trade, HVAC, welding. I thought about fixing elevators. But the problem is, I've been to also jobs like as a personal trainer at certain corporations. It's my violent offense gets in the way, right? So, like a lot of these places will hire a felon
Mm-hmm.
do. I'm not going to deny that. They'll promote it. Hey, we hire felons. Yeah. But do you hire violent felons? So crazy. I went to a job fair held by my probation at the probation office. And there was like 11 jobs there, right? At the job fair. Every single one of them did not hire a violent offender. So when this was over and done with, like everybody in probation had to attend. So they asked like to give feedback. So I actually went and I spoke, I don't know who it was, but one of the head probation officers, and I told her, I was like, every single person there, every company did not hire violent offenders. So my issue is like you guys try to promote that you hire felons or like we can get you jobs. Yeah, you can, but you can't like it's limited. So for instance, if you wanted to work in a factory, like I forgot picker or whatever it's called to kind
Mm-hmm.
of like do fill like pallets and stuff like that. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't really have any way like any movement to move forward at the company. Because like there was a job
Mm.
that I had looked up online, like they hire people to work in a warehouse, but like that's it. Like you're not going anywhere
Gotcha.
else. Same
Yeah.
thing. I thought about being a truck driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, being a felon, especially in the state of New Jersey, they offer like a second chance reward like awards and stuff like that, to where they would award money, grants, this, that, the other. Now, I spoke to the Department of Labor, one of the head ladies there, and I asked her, and she said that if I applied to try to get a grant to help me pay for my CDL license, that she would deny it. She would deny it because I have a violent criminal charge, I have violent crime, armed robbery. Most of these companies, after they see that, like an armed robbery. So right away,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of who you are, like I changed 100%, but like these companies don't hire
Yeah.
like an armed robbery. Like you have robbery, you got theft, you know what I'm saying? But an armed
Right.
robbery, like that's like one of the worst crimes. It's up there with murder, rape, kidnap, like all that stuff, child molestation. So it's like it's very hard to get a job. So it's like you have to find ways to go, like I try to dibble and dabble everywhere. And like that was the thing that kind of like Melissa was getting annoyed with. She's like,
Hmm.
find a job. Like, you're all over the place. Like, I have all these different, excuse me, these different ideas of what I want to do, but I have a hard time focusing on just one, you know.
Right.
Somebody mentioned real estate because I'm very personable. So at the restaurant that I work at, the pizzeria, like I talk to all the customers. Like the customers think I'm the owner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not. Like I'm just a
Yeah.
regular. They don't realize that, but like I'm talking to everybody, this, that, the other. So um a friend of ours was like, she's a real estate agent and her mother's a real estate agent. They've been agents for one with 13 years, but the mother like 30 years. And they're like, you would be really good at this. And I never even thought about being a real estate agent.
Mm.
And I looked into it and I'm like, people were like, you can't do it. You're a felon. Like, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Probably can't. But I went and I talked to some people and they're like, listen, man, a couple people that work for the broker, like they had some criminal history, right? The thing is, their history wasn't violent. Mine was. So I was like, yeah, but you know, all this stuff happens. Like they're felons, they have criminal history, but it's not violent. And the broker was just like, look, give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? Like you study for your test, you pass the test, you apply. If they deny it, then what you do is you go in front of the commission, you know,
Mm.
you appeal it. And so I did. I studied my ass off. I failed the test 2 times. Finally, my third time, what a hard test. I
I was
passed
gonna
my.
say, yeah.
Oh yeah, I passed the test. They don't um give me my license. I have to submit judgments for all my charges ever, which is
Wow.
so I have
Yeah.
to call, you know, the counties that I got arrested in. I get all that stuff mailed to me. I got letters of recommendation. I got 4 letters of recommendation. I had to write a brief biography about myself, why I committed those crimes and where I am now. Did all of that. And one of the letters of recommendation that I did get, which I think is amazing, was from the Hazlitt Police Department. So, which was incredible. I'm actually speaking
Wow.
at the high school, Raritan High School, this Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
But I spoke there last year, which was awesome. So the sergeant there, they got me letters of recommendation. And so once we submitted this, if they were going to deny it, then we would appeal that. But once we submitted all the paperwork, I mean, I literally got within 24 hours, I got an email and got my license. So
Oh,
I was blown away, you know, I was so excited. And that was just like
wow.
a couple, like 2.5, 3 months ago.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, so now that's my main focus is
Yeah.
the real estate. I do personal training. Like I have one client that I train now. I do that in the
Mm-hmm.
morning times. And then 3 days a week, I do real estate, 4 days doing the pizza. And I hope to transition. I got to build my clientele up, you know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still very new to the industry. And I hope to just, turn it all over to real estate soon and go from there. Who knows? Maybe I get my broker's license in a few years. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would love to do motivational speaking. That's another thing that I really want to do, but it's not as easy as people may think. Because
Yeah.
getting your name out there, getting out there, and like, I want to get I'm not trying to sound selfish, but like, I would love to get paid to do the motivational speaking. I would love to get paid to speak to people. Like right now, I do get paid from one
Mm-hmm.
uh place. It's the I speak at a couple schools again, and another place up in northern Jersey. They pay nothing much, but something small. And then some other places I do volunteer, but at
Yeah.
some point I would love to, do that. And maybe one day soon, I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep on doing what I do, and sky's the limit for me. Or there is no limit, really.
I was just gonna say, holy shit. Wow. That is remarkable, Louie. Like, I mean, truly, this is why, when you reached out and you said you had your license, like I told you, I was like, I've got to talk to him at some point because this is remarkable. And I am so proud of you for pursuing all of that and not letting anything stop you. And knowing that you got that letter of recommendation speaks volumes. And just like you said, you are speaking at schools, you are having these conversations and letting these kids know. And it's one thing to be doing that, but it's another to have the actual like footage of you as well, coupled in with that. And you're absolutely right. You should be paid for those things. Like that really is what being a public motivational speaker is, and you do get that compensation. So no, it's not selfish. It is absolutely worthwhile because it's true. Like just listening, like I said, to your story and hearing how far you have come, but now knowing all of that, and that was just recently, a few months ago. So if people have their thoughts and opinions and I firmly believe that yeah, you can change as a person. You can have these aha moments. And it was very clear to me that your mom, Melissa, and your child are like all right here by you and keeping you motivated. And I know that is something that I just think is so admirable and why I wanted you on the podcast to talk about this. So, just like I said, I am just so beyond blown away by how much you have accomplished, even from the last time that you and I spoke back a couple years ago. So, bravo to all of that. Now, I, w-
You, okay, not just on me, but I want to say with your journey, I'm very
oh,
proud of you and how far you have come.
thank you.
Absolutely incredible,
Ah,
honestly.
thank you, Louie. That means a ton to me, honestly. But what I also shared with you was that I did some digging on social media and I was just curious to know what, fans had to say about you. And you and Melissa are like up here. Everyone just talks about how amazing you two are and just what a difference, again, like from your journey first being filmed to now, just the words of encouragement and excitement about your future. How does that feel?
Well, it's funny. It's like, um, it feels good, honestly, because like I haven't until recently I spoke to you, like looked on certain,
Hmm.
I just kind of focus on what I do, but like I did explore and it is kind of, it makes me feel good and about what people say positive. Like I feel for Melissa because like ever since we've been on the show, she has been just completely dogged. Like a lot of
Mm,
people. And what's so messed up is like, it's just like there's no reason for it. Like Melissa is a very strong woman. And I'm sorry, but every strong man needs a strong woman, right? So with that
hmm.
being said, it takes a lot for her to like to be who she is. And by her being who she is, like has helped me be who I am.
Yeah.
Because I just there's so many weak people in this world and like especially and I hate to say this but like a lot of guys like to be like chauvinistic like to use their strength and power over a woman but in my eyes that's just a weak man to try to be strong and overpower a woman right so
Hmm.
90% and not trying to say but majority of the time a man is physically stronger, right? But like
Hmm.
at the same time, like you still don't need to use that on a woman, right? So like you guys need to be strong together. Never, not one should be stronger than the other. It's you guys got to hold each other together and accountable. That's what's important. And she pushed me for that. So like she got a lot of like negativity towards her on how she treats me and that I need to leave, but she did it
Yeah.
to make me better, right? So like
Yeah.
that's the thing that maybe not a lot of people saw in the beginning.
Hmm.
But that was because she just wanted me. Who doesn't want your partner to be a better version of themselves? Like, why
Yeah.
would you want them to be just sedentary? Like, oh, he's just here. No, you want it to keep going up and up. Like, that's how you want the person to be, right? So, like,
Yeah.
do that by pushing them. You do that by supporting them, like, and that's what she did. And I feel like now a lot of people have really seen that.
Yeah.
Um, and she doubles me like far as followers. Like my social media is like half of hers, right? And I'm literally coming up on a year
Yeah.
of posting every single day. So like I
Wow.
post every single day. I'm coming up on a year and I do it on all platforms. And I haven't even hit 10,000. Funny. I'm like 17 people away from hitting 10,000 followers on TikTok. And I'm probably like
Nice.
20 people away from hitting 20,000 followers on Instagram. Now, Melissa,
Hmm.
double my numbers,
Yeah.
double both. And so
Yeah.
are these other people. And like, I just wish more people would seek positivity and motivation, because that's the only thing that sucks about social media.
Hmm.
Like what
Oh,
people like and what people follow. Don't get me wrong, I love to laugh. That's cool, but it's like it's just some of the stuff is just crazy to me. But but we're thankful
100%.
for how much we've had, like the opportunities we've had with the show. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because we would not be where we are, without them, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. But you're right. I think, and not even just in this show, but even just observing how people treat women on reality TV in a nutshell is really not great. And what people have to remember is that they are getting a edit and a version of that person. Nobody really knows
that's
that
true.
person, right? And so it's these assumptions. It's reminding people that it all comes down to editing. It really does. And so, with reality TV, that is kind of like the vicious cycle that it is. But you're right. Like people seem to be able to go after women so much more rapidly than they do the men. Is kind of what
100%.
I my takeaway is, right?
No, it definitely is. And like, and the crazy, this is the one thing that I used to like, still blows my mind because it happens all day, is you will have somebody, and I hate to say this, but like, who is, just has a lot of things not right with them, and they're going to sit there and degrade you. And it's
Yeah.
like, only because like they're jealous and they're just hating.
Hmm.
And like, listen, my thing is this. There's no reason for anybody to be jealous of somebody else, right? A lot
Yeah.
of times what happens is you're jealous of somebody who's got more money, who has maybe looks better than you, or this, that, the other. But at the end of the day, like for somebody who is successful and has a lot of money, like you don't know the hard work that they put in and sacrifice to get there.
Hmm.
All these
Hmm.
years that they work, like, but a lot of people are lazy. It's like the majority of our world is lazy. And
Hmm.
COVID made it even worse. Mind
Hmm.
you, I was in prison during that time, but like, so it's like people, there's no reason for you to hate on anybody else. Like, you can do it too, right? You just
Yeah.
are choosing not to. And then
Yeah.
that's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people want to take the easy route. Don't get me wrong, I do too sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, everyone does, right?
We're
But
all
I think
guilty.
it's a, but you're right. Like I feel like it's a mental health crisis. Like when we're talking about how people attack people on the internet, it is because I have had my fair share as well. And those DMs can get fucking vicious. And you are just like,
Yeah.
you don't know me, first of all, right? And so it really is kind of this unfortunate mind game, but you really have to make yourself so resilient, and it's hard to. And so I feel for Melissa in that aspect because yeah, I can't imagine what that's like for you to have observed that too on the flip side, right? And so it's good to know that you both have that support system and that you both understand it. Because I think
Mhm.
that's probably the other part of it, right? Like so if this was a totally different show and it was just one of you who, was on TV versus the other, that I'm sure is a really difficult situation. So at least you get to both
Yeah.
get to like talk that out, right?
Yeah, 100%. And the crazy part about it is this is funny now looking back, but like I was so naive to all this stuff, right? So like
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even know what a DM was. I didn't know what a DM stood for. Okay. So when I first got out and I was on a show and I did my social media and stuff like that, like I'm getting people who are like sending me DMs and like
Hmm.
I'm responding to them. Like
Yeah.
not realizing like, and Melissa's like, you should not respond to a DM. Like if you want to respond to a comment, that's cool. No
Yeah.
big, but you did. Like she's right. Like, and I didn't realize this at the time. Like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares? Like, if she's like, you don't have it. Like, she has. Like, I thought I was getting a lot of DMs.
Hmm.
She's like, look, and she like guys are just horrible. Guys are worse than women.
Yeah.
The women are bad too, but like her DMs are just like, I was like, holy shit. She didn't reply to none of them. Me,
Yeah.
like, hey, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. How are you? Like, not even having a clue. And then like she realized and put me up in a game. Like, look, these women are just trying to. They're thirsty. They're trying to get you out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
I didn't know it at the time. I really didn't. Like,
Yeah.
and then eventually everything is like, okay, now I understand. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so.
Well, I'm glad, like I said, that you both have each other and you have that support system. So, with that being said, talk to me about the proposal. How did that all come to be?
So that was actually so, I really wanted it to be special, right? So,
Hmm.
and again, like that, like all of that happened and helped because of the show. Like everything was made possible because of that, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to plan something special, different. I had ideas and like that wasn't that idea, like that was my idea. I really
Yeah.
wanted to do it on top of the lighthouse, like not in this, like on top dinner, lighthouse, something like that. But that's how it played out, which was,
Yeah.
we talked about it, but that was really my idea. I know she loves the beach, right?
Mm,
So it's like,
yeah.
um, it was just hard to surprise her.
Yeah.
She's a very smart woman. She knew. Now, I don't know if she knew then, but like she had
Yeah.
an, it was just like every time we would go somewhere special, romantic, it's like you can see like
Yeah.
and like so it was very difficult to try and surprise her, but
Hmm.
I think it turned out very well.
Oh, well, I'm excited for you too, and congratulations. I mean, married life. We got married very, very quickly, about 7 months after seeing each other in person. So, but needless to say, like we're coming up on 4 years, and truly, it's a joy to be married to your best friend. So, congratulations to you both. I'm very, very excited for you too. So, one of the last questions I have for you before we do some rapid fire questions. What advice would you offer someone who's experiencing similar hardships that you have faced in life? And what would you want to say to them?
The most important thing to to me that is just you have to learn self-respect,
Mm.
self-discipline, and it's not being selfish when you're like you really have to think about you because my grandpa used to tell me like you're number one, right? Um, because like you can change, like you can make a difference. You have the choice, right? So like we battle ourselves every single day. Like it's like we're our biggest opponents,
Yeah.
but yet we're also our biggest allies. So it's like you have to learn how to differentiate the two. And we all struggle with certain things. Like my biggest thing was addiction. Sometimes I feel like you have to hit rock bottom
Hmm.
before you can learn. Now, the other question I will even say is what is rock bottom for you, right? So like for me, I thought going to prison was rock bottom, right? But I went to prison and I still did the same thing. Um, One thing that I can say too, if you're trying to help somebody who's going through addiction, like there's only so much you can do. You have to learn when to say when.
Mm.
Because at some point, all you're doing is just making it, you're actually feeding their addiction more. You're making it just easier for them because you're so supportive that it's like they're really counting on you. So like you have to, it's so hard, I'm sure, but sometimes you just have to like just let it be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't go to jail. Like I remember my mom told me like when I finally went to prison, when I finally got locked up, it was like she was relieved
Mm.
because she knew where I was, right? So like I'm out and about all like who knows what I'm doing? Um, you just have to really change your surroundings, right? So like get away from negative people. Sometimes that's your family. Sometimes that's the closest people you've ever been around your entire life. But guess what? If you want to make a difference for you, because that's the most important, believe me, if you're around a bunch of drug addicts that are your family, I promise you, even though they want you to like be them, there's something inside their heart that would love to see you break the cycle. Like
Mm,
they want people to break the cycle, right? But they're
yeah.
just so corrupted and they're so used to doing it. Like that's just their lifestyle. But at the end of the day, regardless of how ruthless they may be, like they still want somebody they truly care about to break the cycle. You know what I mean? So you just have to sometimes learn how to just stand on your own. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I could, there's so much advice and motivation and inspiration things that I can say. It's at the end of the day, I hate to say the like you could only lead the horse to the water, right? I hate
Mm-hmm.
saying I heard this my whole life. It's like I hate repeating stuff that I heard my whole life, but it's true.
Yes.
You
Uh-huh.
if you're not ready to stop, like you're not ready to stop. Like that's just
That's reality. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, really quick though, because you do a lot of videos with like motivational speaking and like mantras and yeah. So where can people find you?
Okay, so I just recently changed my handle on all my accounts. I don't know
Okay.
if any of you know. But now it's Louie F underscore realtor underscore of underscore NJ. So Louie Fojut, the realtor of New Jersey. That is my new handle on all my platforms.
Okay.
And
We'll
yeah,
get those linked too.
that would be.
Perfect.
And then
Okay.
yeah. And I also do as a personal trainer, I do like Zoom virtual personal training. I've done that
Ooh.
before. So that's
Okay.
and I also have a good friend of mine. He is an inventor of this fitness apparatus that's
Hmm.
going to be coming out soon. I'll be doing videos with that to kind of help promote it, and then I can also do personal training with that. That'll be coming out on some of my social media accounts.
Great. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we'll be sure to link all of those on your actual episode
Yeah.
as well so people can find it
And
quickly.
also, if you are looking for a home in New Jersey,
Yes.
whether you want to buy or sell in New Jersey, I got you. And then if you're out of state, I can also refer you to a trusted agent as well. So reach out.
Amazing. Yeah, New Jersey, get on it. Help Louis build up that clientele. Because yeah, let's get you some people. So we will absolutely get all your info on there because I want to see that success and I'm so excited for that journey
Want
for
to book
you.
me for some motivational speaking?
And that too, right? Yep.
Absolutely.
Manifesting it. So anyone listening.
Gotta speak it into existence.
Exactly. All right, Louis. We're going to do some fun questions now, okay? So, first and foremost, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Superpower?
Superpower.
Teleport.
Hell yeah.
And then because I just there's so many places in this world that I would love to see. Um, that if I could just teleport somewhere real quick just to check it out, like top of a mountain or just somewhere. Like there's so many beautiful places in this world that I just would love to check out.
Love it. Now, what is the most interesting thing you've read, watched, or listened to recently?
I mean, I listen to it's not it's every day is interesting. So I listen to um when I started working out, right? I always listen to music.
Hmm.
Always.
Hmm.
I want to say up until about a year ago, I stopped listening to music while I exercise and I listened to motivational speaking.
Mm.
One person, his name is Eddie Pinero, and I highly recommend if you've never heard of him, look him up on Spotify. He has he's got a thing called The World Within. And I get a lot of my stuff from him. Like as I'm listening to him working out, if he quotes something, I hurry up, get in my phone, write it down so I remember. So I get a lot of my stuff and motivation and inspiration from Eddie Pinero. Every day it's interesting because it's something new that I'm finding out about myself.
Yeah.
And one thing for sure, people, you're not alone out there.
Yeah.
You're not. Like if you
Right.
think you're the only person going through this, like you're really not alone. There's 8 billion people in this world and like 8 billion individuals. Like we've been there. Somebody else has been there for you. Like it's been there going through it with you, you know? So
Great answer. That's fantastic. Also apologize for my fuzzy son barking back there.
Mhm.
So, but Eddie, you said Eddie Pinero?
Eddie Pinero,
Eddie
your world
Pinero.
within. Yes.
Okay. We'll put that up there too. Do you have a favorite show or movie or anything like that?
I mean, no, I don't watch TV.
That's fine. You're
I
on
don't
TV, but you don't watch it.
ever
I
watch.
kind of like that answer, actually.
No, okay, I will say this. I just started watching, do not laugh, the Squid Games season 2.
That's not a
I mean, like,
laughing
not
show.
like or anything.
Yeah.
But
No, that's a badass show. Okay.
yeah, but I mean, I think my favorite show of all time, I'd have to say, that I watched while I was in prison, and I binge watched it, was the
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, I binge watched the hell out of the Game of Thrones on our little tablets we had for like 2 weeks straight. Like, where's Louie? He's in
Wow.
the room, and I'm just, yeah.
Locked in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a classic, so that's a great answer too, honestly. Okay, so you said you stopped listening to music when you work out, but what kind of music were you actually listening to?
I'm a huge '90s
Oh,
hip
come
hop,
on, yeah.
but I also like I was in prison, and I lived in Georgia for 17 years. I mean, I was in the South from '99 up until 2023. So
Hmm.
love '90s hip hop. Couldn't stand Southern rap music, but I will say it grew on me. So one of my go-tos when I worked out was Future. Um,
Yeah.
one of the guys that really big inspiration to me. He goes by Total Fitness on Instagram, and
Mm,
he's like, he's friends with Future down in Atlanta, but like he listens to Future. Like he really got me into Future. So
nice.
I listened to Future when I used to work out, him or Drake, but like that was just up to recently. But when I
Yeah,
was 90s hip, that's my go-to. 90s hip hop. And all 90s
always.
alternative music. I would have to say.
Yeah.
But if it's a car ride and I'm just chilling, Pink Floyd.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. See, yeah, that's a great answer.
I listen to all music because the other day when I was at work, I put on James Brown.
Oh,
And I put on
yeah.
Jack Johnson. Sublime, loved Sublime. Like I
Yeah.
mean, I like everybody. Candlebox was good. I'm just all over the place. So
Yeah. Good.
yeah.
I feel like if people get stuck in a certain genre, yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I'm so random. So I love that answer. Good. Now, how about if you were an animal, what would you be and why?
Uh, well, I'm gonna say this only because I know the history of of would be an eagle.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know the eagle, but like if an eagle wants to live to a certain amount of years, he has to actually bite off his talons
Oh,
and regrow them. So he's got to literally, if he wants to live, I think it's another 20 years. Don't quote me on this, please. Do your research.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
did read that an eagle, for them to live another 20 years or something like that, that they actually go through a very painful and gruesome adaptation of their talons. They got to bite them off, and then they got to
Whoa.
grow because they're not sharp and they're dull, and then they gotta. So like when I found that out, I'm like, okay, respect. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Somebody else said an eagle, but they did not give that answer. So that's incredible. Now I'm actually going to go look that up because that's
Go look it up
wild.
because again, I'm very bad, and Melissa gets on my ass about this,
Eh.
especially when I first got out of prison. I would say something, and like she's like, "You know that for sure," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know that." And, she's on there. She's like, "Nope, you're wrong," and that's the biggest problem that I had. This is where I felt to be naive. Like, if you tell
Yeah.
me something, I listen to you, right? So
Yeah.
you tell me this, I listen to you, and then somebody asks me, and I tell it to them, but you were wrong. You were
Yeah.
believe you. And I
Yeah.
feel like an idiot because like I didn't look it up myself. So she makes sure that I'm on point, She's like, Louie, I just don't want you to look stupid. Like I want you to be
Oh,
the sharpest tool that you possibly can be. So like know your facts before you say it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
so she
Oh,
made me feel about that too.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love how just like supportive she is of just
Yeah, but don't
everything.
get me wrong. Like the way she says it, I'm like, why do you gotta say it like that though? Like you make me feel good. But at the end of the day, I know that it's because she's just
She
keeping.
cares. Yeah.
Because when she stops doing that, then I know it's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm. Yeah, I hear ya. Now, what's a hobby or a passion that might surprise people about you?
I don't even know. I wish I could answer this.
Let me think. How about, is there anything that you two do, like you and Melissa?
I mean, we go out to dinner. We love
Okay.
nice dinners.
What's like a favorite like cuisine? Like is there a certain cuisine that
So there's this the I love steak. I love a good
yeah.
steak.
Oh yeah.
So but we just like to try very nice restaurants, especially places that we see on some social media that's highly
Hmm.
recommended. But we usually go out to a very nice dinner. I'm bad. She's the one that's like, come on, let's stay home. And I'm like, no, let's go. I'll pay. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I would have to say that would be something that we love to do. Yeah, I
Is
would
it
have
like that atmosphere or are you looking like culinary wise and like just trying the different kinds of foods?
it's really good food. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like paying top dollars for shitty food.
Yeah.
I have
Oh
no
yeah.
problem paying top dollar for good food. Not a problem.
Amen.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
How prices have gotten ridiculous. So it's like, I hate to say this, but like I'm just gonna, again, let's use McDonald's as an example. You go to McDonald's, McDonald's used to be super cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a burger. Like I would much rather pay $20 for a burger and fries at a nice restaurant than pay 13, $14 for fries and a burger at McDonald's. Like,
Yeah.
why
Agreed.
not spend that extra couple dollars and get a real burger?
Yeah.
So I don't mind spending the extra. Like we'll try places. If we don't like it, never go back. But we try to.
Yeah.
There's some places though that we go to that we're not regulars. That's the thing. I just say this the other day to her. I don't ever want to be known as a regular somewhere. I don't know why.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah.
know why, but like I just there's a lot of people who do that. Like they'll hang out at bars. Like they're there
Oh
every.
yeah.
I just don't want to do that. I don't know why, but
Hey, no, I'm right there with you. My husband and I are the same exact way. Like, it's hard for us to be like, oh, let's go back to this place because we want to keep trying new things and new experiences. So, amen to that answer. I like that actually. Now, do you have a karaoke song or a song that you just like belt out? It can be 90s as well.
do you know I've never done karaoke my entire life. Ever. I've never
You're
sang.
not the only one. Again, you're not the only one who said this. Yeah.
So I I would have to say Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Like that's one of my
Ooh.
favorite songs in the entire world. That song probably has got me like I've been so fucked up so many times getting into my truck. I just remember this and like first thing I would do is put that song on and listen to it as I drove. And it I don't know if it was the song or what, but like I remember that song.
Yeah.
That song is good. Like that's one of the main songs. There's so many, like there's some Biggie songs that are just like, you know,
Bangers. Yeah.
yeah. I there's a lot of 90s. If I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll sing it and people make fun of me like so but I don't really just say I'm not a
Just sing. Yeah. That's fine. I like that answer though. Good.
yeah.
Okay. Is there a like travel spot that you and Melissa have been to or anything that like really brings some happy memories or yeah,
Yeah,
really
we're
special?
actually yeah, we're going back. It's TRS Hotel in Riviera Maya in Mexico.
Yay.
We went there in November. We loved it
Okay.
so much. It's an
Yeah.
adults only resort.
Oh yeah.
Um, and you literally have your own butler. They stay at the
Oh.
bottom of the stairs, so when you whatever you need, they come up. They do. It's incredible. So we loved it so much that we actually booked our trip already again for this coming November.
Yay.
It's amazing there. Like we spent a
Yeah.
week. We spent 4 nights, 5 days. I think this time we're going for a whole week. Um,
Okay.
it's
That's
just
great.
It's phenomenal. We like that's what
Oh,
we like to do though. I will say that is we like to travel. We like to go on
yeah,
vacation, sometimes twice a year for like a week. We're
good.
thinking of a place to go in March. We might go to Peru. We don't know yet there.
Ooh,
Or and then we're gonna go in November. So that's another thing that we like to do is travel. And I'm so happy she got me into that. Like that was
yeah,
I never had a passport in my entire life. Like as soon
yeah.
as I got out of prison, that was like one of the first things I did was I got a passport.
Ugh, that
Yeah.
makes my heart happy. Good. I'm really excited that you're going and exploring other countries because that's so important to do, like in your
So
adult
yeah,
life,
I got
right?
out in 100% and I never traveled. So I got out in November 29, 2022. While I was in prison, Melissa booked a trip to Mexico for her 40th birthday in April. So
Yeah.
like it was just crazy. Like we filmed the week before and then that Friday it's like so we went in April, so I was out for 5 months and I already like got my passport,
Yeah.
went to Mexico. It was just insane. Like it, yeah. So
Oh,
thanks to her, I've
good.
done a lot. So
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm excited to see where else you go because Peru would be awesome too. So, yeah, definitely update your socials on where you're
True.
going.
Definitely Machu Picchu, like that's a
Yeah.
must.
Yeah.
But I think that's on the list for sure. I just don't know if that's because what we're in January. It's almost the end of January, right?
Yeah, truly.
I
Hmm.
don't. That's a place that I would like to go see.
Amazing. Now, since you are in Jersey,
Mhm.
do you have any like local favorites, whether it be a restaurant, store, gym, whatever you would like to shout out?
I mean, like around here, VRI Homes is the real estate company I work for, so that's good.
Okay. Yeah.
But we do every Sunday, we go to this coffee shop called Reposo's. Okay.
Reposos. Okay.
Also, they're about to open up a new location in Hazlet, but we usually go there, or I go there on Sunday mornings, get coffee from Melissa. She loves coffee, so
Mm.
that's a place. One of the restaurants that we go to that we would frequent would be like a place called Salt Creek Grill,
Ooh.
which is delicious. A newer place that we went to, very very low key, is a place called Porcini's.
Mm.
Um, that place there was literally like maybe 10 tables in there, one chef, like it was
Wow.
amazing. So
Oh,
that's good too.
hell yeah. Well, I will look them up and I will get them linked on the social media as well. So great recommendations.
Anywhere
All
else?
right.
My
Yeah.
pizza place that I work at, if you guys want to come visit me, it's called
Yeah.
Rosso.
What is it? Pomerosos?
Rosso. It's in
Paparoso.
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Badass. Yeah. Okay. Now, last question.
Uh-oh.
Who is a hero of yours and why?
Hero?
Hmm.
People who just like have been through the struggle, um, who I've seen like make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And are
Hmm.
continuing. For instance, I'll use people I've been locked up with. For instance, very small circle,
Hmm.
who I still keep in contact with. And
Hmm.
the only reason I keep in contact with them is because they've inspired me because they're doing the right thing. And like I we all look up to each other. Even if we haven't spoken for a while, we'll still randomly say, "What's up?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing
Yeah.
good, awesome. Like those are the ones that inspire me. Just people who have been in my life who have never like given up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Types of people. I don't know. There's so many people. I can't think of no one person individually. Like everybody who inspires me has made an impact on me in one or more ways.
Yeah.
So, I just look at there's a bunch of people like that. Anybody who's been able to overcome obstacles, traumatic events, like they are heroes in my eyes.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that answer. And that's honestly, that's great. It's true to you. And that's what these rapid questions are about. It's about you. So, Louie, this honestly has been such a pleasure chatting with you and reconnecting. And like I said, from the jump, I could not be more proud of your journey and where you're going to go because I know this is only just the beginning and I feel that in my bones. And like I told you, I wanted to offer another platform for you to talk about those aspirations that you have. And I wholeheartedly want to see that come to fruition because you absolutely deserve it. You have worked so hard. I'm so happy that you have Melissa in your life and that you are just on the up and up. So truly, like, you're a pretty big inspiration right now. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are looking up to you and to your story. So thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you. I feel very honored to be on here. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Louie.
Be sure to join me next week when I sit down with Jill Michelle Williams, a seasoned television producer and writer who has created content for major networks and streaming platforms. With extensive experience in both production and development, Jill has worked as a development consultant crafting concepts in true crime, lifestyle, and docusoap genres, including the hit Bravo series Southern Charm. Stay tuned for an enlightening conversation about the entertainment industry and the world of true crime. This is True Crime in Hollywood, a personal tale. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a review for the show. Thank you for listening. And as always, remember the victims and embrace the survivors.